Hi, everyone. It's Kelly Day. I'm here today with Terry Goodness, mixed media painter, and we're interviewing Terry today, who is a student of mine and loves to travel and is going to talk about her journey with her art. Welcome, Terry. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, Terry, I know you're from Wisconsin and you live on a beautiful lake. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I have two kids, married, had my father-in-law living with us for past 17 years. For the first 14 years, we lived in Costa Rica, and he lived with us 6 months of the year because he was not wanting the Wisconsin winter. And so he lived down there with us. And then when we moved back during COVID, he lived with us full time. So he recently just moved to be with my sister-in-law, who's taking really great care of him. And it kind of frees me up a little bit more to work more on my art. I was working in the corporate world. I'm a graphic designer, creative director. Went from managing just myself and working freelance to managing a team of creatives, back and forth. And when my husband and I decided to work together full time, I don't know, busyness and stress of life was feeling pretty heavy. It was like just a constant spin, 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 just keep going and going. Um, and we traveled a bit and we did what we had to do too. And I just was feeling stuck and growing more and more unhappy, I guess, as the years progressed. And finally, with kids going off to school, and just my husband and I, he was starting to take a more creative approach to writing and doing things that made him really happy in his life. He did a lot of thinking about what he was wanting to do, and he was really encouraging me to do the same.
Aw.
Um, yeah, it's really good. So we both have a creative bent, and I think they're pretty complementary. So that's kind of where I was
Yeah.
before
And
I discovered your program.
yeah, I mean, and and so life gets so heavy like that, doesn't it? And it kind of sneaks up on us sometimes over the years, right? Like you get in these long term, you're just raising the kids and making money and all that needs to be done, taking care of your parents. So what was the longing you were having with your art? I think a lot of women here feel that. Can you speak to
Um,
that desire you were having to make art a bigger part of your life?
yeah, it was something when I sat down and thought about it a little bit more. It was something that I'd always enjoyed doing. I went to school. I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I was painting. I was doing weaving and ceramics and um, figure drawing, all of that stuff. And it was a really joyful time in my life. Despite the fact that we were staying up all night painting or whatever, even that was like
Back in your
energizing.
20s? Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, way back. And so I really loved that, and I really was missing that. And so whenever I would connect with some of my college friends, we have a group we're called the Art Babes. So we get together and we're drinking and we do art projects and things like that. And it just seemed like I wanted to take it a little bit further. Um, and so I was just trying to figure out what to do. And I had been doing some reading, and it was talking about finding a mentor and how that can help you in your life. And I wasn't really big into the life coaching kind of thing, so I was a bit skeptical um, of pursuing that path. Um, and then I came across your video on Facebook, and for some reason, it just spoke to me. I think that I just felt this connection, and I feel like um, that it was just when you were painting, you were really loose, and I think that I felt a connection too because we had like a similar background of graphic design and corporate stuff, and I was just like, wow, maybe this would work. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and when you're graphic design, right? It's what I call a shadow fashion, you're creating, but you're
mhm,
creating for others. And so there's still that longing to create
yeah,
for themselves, right? And I know from being a graphic designer for 20 years, I loved my clients and the work, but it wasn't my passion. and something
Right.
was missing, you know? So
Hmm.
tell everybody, what was like the last straw that made you be like, I had to do something, my
Um,
art going again?
it was probably a conversation with my husband. A conversation, maybe being a bit mild. It was probably an argument. Where he was like, you're just not happy. You need to do something, and you need to decide what it is you want to do. What's going to make you happy? What do you want to do with your life? We've got this great opportunity in front of us now with no kids around, and our business is doing pretty well. I don't have to work on it as much as I used to. So he was pushing me to think a little bit further, and he basically was like, you're just not happy, you need to figure it out. And so I think that was it. Like, it was him telling me, figure it
Yeah,
out.
you're so, so lucky that you have somebody in your court like that, because I do hear from a lot of women, well, I have to ask my husband, I have to check in with my husband, like permission kind of thing. And that's the
Hmm.
thing, is like you've got to be willing to make you're the only one that can create your life, but it's so helpful if your partner's supportive, right?
Yeah, it is. it's
So
it's difficult though. It's difficult because when you are married, it I guess I felt like I had given up a lot of things in my life to to be a partner with him, but
right.
also to allow him to travel. Like, I'm taking care of the kids, or I'm taking care of my father-in-law. I'm taking care of the house. I'm doing stuff in the business. So it allowed him some freedom to be able to um, concept and come up with business ideas and to do different things also. It's like, as a wife, you tend to like take on those responsibilities. And I mean, my husband would do like whatever. I'd be like, oh, do you need to can you do the laundry? Yeah, 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 no complaints. He sees it as a 50-50 partnership. I was throwing in more than what he was even asking
That's
me.
the thing. Yeah, that's what women
And
do. Yeah.
you
Go
feel
ahead.
like you have to ask permission almost to live your life. And I, I kept being stuck in that too. And he kept telling me, stop it, just stop it. Um,
Oh, yeah.
just decide and do it. That's all you
So
need. And
I
I
just
think I was really boxed in for a long time, thinking, okay, I've got to sit down, I've got my oil paint, I've got to sketch, and I've got to do all of these thoughts before I even get to the canvas.
mhm,
And I felt like it was really, really heavy. And
mhm.
I don't know. I kept procrastinating because it just wasn't something I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
now you've like, I don't know. It's just been really. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I was just like, how fortunate was I to see that ad on Facebook?
Aw.
And
So, I want you to share with would you, like, share with everybody, what does it feel like now that you have your art in your life for yourself?
um, it's strange. Like, I'm still getting used to it, so I feel a little bit like, okay, I should be doing this, and then I have to think to myself, I don't really have to at this moment.
Sure.
But otherwise, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, I'm good to go. I want to get up and go take care of things. Um, and so I've given myself that permission, I guess, to just be happy and not have to feel the weight of every single day of accomplishing something, and
Wow.
appreciating those moments of putting pen to paper, or brush to canvas, however you want to do that. I really appreciate those moments and I enjoy them, and then time flies by. Not that I want it to fly by, but I'm just like so much happier when I'm doing
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing how good it feels to be creating, doesn't it?
it. Mhm. Yeah.
So tell everyone, like, where you are now. You're traveling, you're getting inspiration. Tell everyone what's going on with your art. You've just made
Um,
excuse me, a beautiful series behind you here.
uh, living in Costa Rica, we had a lot of opportunity to see the local area, to travel around the country. And we've done quite a bit of traveling, but now we're starting to take longer times to travel. So last year, October and November, we were gone for like a month and a half and traveling that way. And when we travel, I always felt like this weight of, okay, I've got to work. I still want to do art, but I have no idea how I'm going to do that. I need to be in my studio. I need to get a studio together. I need to have my space with me.
Thing.
Yeah, that's what I used to think.
Uh-huh.
But now I've got like a whole travel bag set up because we're supposed to be taking off. I'm taking off on Sunday. Um, we're supposed to, I want to travel because it's something that is just so inspiring to get out there to meet people, to experience these different cultures and food and music and art and all of that. But I felt like I had to split things up, and I couldn't do anything creative unless I was at home. And so now I've finally gotten it together where I'm able to have a bag, take all, not all my supplies, but a really good little kit with me. And I'm able to sketch on the plane or sketch in my ship cabin or even paint and collage and grab different things from different countries that we go to. It's just opened up my eyes and maybe even appreciate the traveling more, which I didn't have that before, I don't think.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and you were saying before we got on this interview that, like, in China, you were collecting papers that were from the country that they use in their altars to make art. So it sounds like it's given this whole new spin on your travel too, right?
Right, absolutely. And then I think it gives a different depth of appreciation to what I'm doing. And when I'm putting things together, of course, it helps me remember the feeling
Yeah.
that I had. And I'm hoping to convey that feeling when I paint also.
Yeah.
So, for example, I start layering things and put in some papers from like the money that they burn or the different newspapers or something that was going on that day. I put it together in that painting along with my idea from the photo that I've seen or that I took. And I'm trying to put that together so that people can see it, from a distance, you see a painting, whether you like the colors or the subject matter, whatever it is. And then you get in closer and you start to see those little details. And that's what I really, really liked about um, you kind of opening up my eyes to this this different level of painting
Yeah,
and
a
art.
different level of painting. That's what this is. It's a different level of painting. You were saying you were kind of doing your oil and you kind of thought you had to have all of that and you were in a box. And
Hmm.
and now you know that you can take all your inspirations from your travel or your sketches or, the things that you saw on the way and build them into beautiful paintings. So now you've created a couple of series. I saw when we worked together, you created a beautiful abstract series. And now you've created the series behind you with the oxes, the sacred cows. So, what would you say was the biggest thing that helped you make that shift from being in the box to just freely creating different series now?
Um, I'd liked I liked the idea that when I signed up with you and you had this structure to your class, and it was basically trust the process, do the work, um, and then I was able to. I think I operate well within a box. I need to have some constraints in there,
Mhm.
and then with those rules, I was able to be creative and actually think then outside of the box.
Mhm.
Um, and then push myself a little bit further. And I loved the idea of having the critiques. I think I missed that a lot from school, where we would sit around and we'd have critiques, but and your peers are critiquing you. But now I feel like these are women who've had life experience and they know what they like, they know what they want. And so when they're critiquing a piece of art, um, they come at it with a different perspective. And I think that that's a really interesting part of this too. And then I like that, you've set it up in such a way that it's, I kind of feel like we're strong, fierce women, but we're still a little bit fragile. Um, as an artist, it's not like you
Oh,
have a
yeah.
thick
We're
skin,
sensitive.
know?
Yeah.
And so the way you've set it up has been really great, where it's a critique, but it is um, gentle but firm. Maybe
Yes.
I guess that's
It's
how
a
it would
loving
be.
critique. Yes, it's
Yeah,
not like
it
art.
is. But
It's not like art school where like you're either doing it right or wrong. It's all about
yeah,
bringing out who you are and learning to do that more strongly. So, yeah.
yeah, and I appreciate the outside view
Uh-huh.
where, of course you're too close to your piece,
Mhm.
and you have to step away from it for a little bit, but it also helps to have fresh eyes look at it. And the group of women that I was with, I respected their opinions, and I loved how they would come at different things with those different viewpoints, or they might have seen something different. And I thought that was a great way to approach
The
things.
group is so powerful. Absolutely. I can talk all day long about the roadmap I give you and the process, but really it's about being brave enough to start sharing yourself with others in a safe place, and then they're on the same journey, so it's so powerful that way. So Terry, I'm so excited for you. What would you say to somebody who's on the fence and they're kind of where you are, like ready to have more creative purpose in their life, but they're not sure about doing this program or not?
Um, Well, I think that, I liked how you had like a little mini masterclass that I watched prior to this, and the phone call and the connection. Um, I would say, if they are serious about a change or something new, absolutely. It's not like you have to, um, I mean, it's good to jump, just to take that leap and do it. But you really have to sit and you have to think and you have to say yes to this, and yes to, is this going to make me happy? Um, I just, I was nervous and scared at first too. Like, I just don't know if I'm good enough, or
Ah,
if I can do it. But it's not even that. It's what
no.
is going to make me happy and what speaks to me.
Mm.
Um, so I don't care. Well, I guess I do care. I do care if people like my stuff. But I was reading the other day that you go to a restaurant and not everybody is going to order the same thing, because not everything speaks to you that at that moment. So somebody will order a steak, somebody will order a hamburger, somebody will order the salmon. They can all be delicious, and the chef doesn't take offense to, if you don't order his salmon. It's okay. And so I feel the same way with art too, that there's a flavor or some sort of color out there that speaks to certain people, and then other people just don't like it. I worked with somebody who never liked yellow. So everything that I did graphic design wise, I couldn't put yellow in. So I'm throwing all the colors out there now. But I would just say to people, take the leap and say yes, and find that joy and happiness that you might be missing.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? And I'm so glad you said that you address that fear that people often think, can I do this? Am I good enough? And it's absolutely not about that at all. There's
No,
there's no prerequisite of having a certain amount of talent. It's just wanting it
right.
in your life. That's it. And
And
if you
you were
want it,
you were very helpful. You were very helpful too in recommending a book to me, by Byron Katie.
uh-huh.
Just loved it. I listened
Uh,
to it over and over and over, and like the first chapter, when I was listening to it as an audiobook, and the
uh-huh.
first chapter I was like bawling my eyes out, because I'm like, "Oh
Oh,
my god, this is crazy. This is exactly how I feel." And it's sort of like combined with your class just perfectly. Like,
oh, I
just
love it.
lined up for me, and I was just excited, and I just feel so much more open and happy now too. So it's it's a great thing. It's a great
I
thing.
love hearing it. I love hearing it. So tell everybody where they can see your art.
Well, I have it online now. Terrigoodness.com.
Mhm.
I'm still reworking the website a little bit. I also have an Instagram account.
Instagram, 'cause you have a beautiful Instagram page with all your travel photos.
Yeah, so I love combining the travel photos with the paintings, kind of giving a story behind it. For example, like the oxen behind me, those are from Costa Rica, and the ox cart parades. They have it every time around Christmas time. It's huge, huge celebration. Just getting back to their roots of how they used to do farming. I
Terri,
think
here it is, TERRI_goodness.
okay, that's what it is then.
RRI_goodness is her Instagram handle. I remember also when I first met you, you were talking about the Turkish lamps and the inspirations you were getting from those. So I love that you're bringing everything in your life into your art and you're feeling more joy. And you guys, if you're here, leave us a comment. I see we've got Carolyn here. Hi, Carolyn. She says, love this woman. I know, Terri is very lovable. So Terri, thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you inspired other women. And you guys, if you're here listening and you feel the way that Terri did, that you're ready for some more joy and happiness in your life, maybe you've just checked that box of getting your kids off to college or your parent, and you want to express your heart like Terri has been, then you can book an art breakthrough call with me like Terri and I did last April, and we'll jump on the phone and we'll find out what's going on with your art. And if I can help you reach your art dream, I'll show you what that looks like. And you can do that at kelliedayart.com/booking, Kellie with an IE, dayart.com/booking. I'll put the link below. Thank you so much for being here. Leave a comment and let us know if you found this interview inspiring. And Terri, thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you.
Well,
Yes, well, thank you.
I really, really do mean it from my heart that I really appreciate you doing
Oh,
all this stuff, and it really has been just a game changer for me.
oh, thank you, Terri. Well, it's been incredible to watch you do it. So keep going, and I'll look forward to seeing more. And much love to you.
Same here.
Stay in
Bye.
touch. Okay.